one today.
Happy Hump Day!
Are you motivated? Because if not, you soon will be.
Yeah, so today's Live at 5 topic is all about how to get and stay motivated, which is a common topic, especially come March. Everybody started the year with the best intentions, probably by February fell by the wayside.
Absolutely. So, absolutely. Absolutely.
I agree, my friend.
I agree. We're laughing because when we did our TV show, we love being ourselves, as you can tell, and there was one little part of the TV show that we couldn't be ourselves, although we had lines to say. We could try and be ourselves while saying the lines, but it's not lines to say, and you're like, some of the lines were absolutely, just like a one-off word. That is true.
I agree. My friend.
That is true. Happy days. It's cheesy. Anyway, what we're doing, we get quite a lot of comments on our social media that says, how do you guys stay motivated? And it becomes quite common, and initially we're like, motivated for what? Are you talking about for training, for lifestyle? Because really what we're doing is we're being ourselves. So to be motivated would suggest that we're not being ourselves, but we need motivation to then act a certain way. So what we decided to do was put together a motivation masterclass that is available to everyone. Okay, so we've got our membership, and our members will get this free. But the motivation masterclass, it's not expensive. I think we said it was going to be, we can tell you the price, I think it's 27 quid.
27
It's really cheap. We just thought, let's put a price tag on it. Members get it for free. Everybody else, there's 100 spaces maximum. Okay, we can't take any more than 100. But we put together this motivation masterclass, and it's a 4-day long intensive where you get onto our mobile app, you get access to our website and our forum so you can communicate on a regular basis. It will start with a live coaching session. It'll have 4 days worth of lessons. You'll also get an MP3 download, and it'll finish with a live coaching session at the end. If you want to get in on that, we're going to go into motivation today. If you want to get in on that, go to the website, thekiltedcoaches.com, and you can register. It's not available to buy yet, but you can put your name down on the pre-sale list.
So the course starts on the 23rd of March. We're only making 100 spaces available. If you're already in our membership, don't worry, you get it for free. But for those that aren't in our membership, there is only 100 spaces available. So it's first come, first serve. You will have to register your interest, get on the pre-sale list, and then when the time comes, when we give you the opportunity, you can get on board. And if you're in quick, you will get to be able to take part.
Basically, the way we're going to do it is we've got a pre-sale list that you can register on the website. We've only got 100 spaces maximum, and the people who are on the pre-sale list will get first dibs. The email will go out to you 24 hours before we then shout about it on social media. Okay, that's going to happen pretty soon, so get in there. But we're going to talk about motivation today. We're going to give you loads of hints and tips today to whet the appetite.
Now, one of the things you do get, and we're very, very excited about, is you do get a free MP3 download as part of the course, which is your pep talk. And we were listening today, like a couple of twangers in the car, and we were motivated as we wanted to go and run. We even found the motivation on it's our own bloody voices. We're drinking our own Kool-Aid. With that being said, we were quite proud of this pep talk. We think it's going to be very inspiring and
motivating.
That alone is worth your 27 quid.
No, it really is. When we first wrote the pep talk, we're like, it sounds great when you're reading it through on paper, but then obviously we want to try and make an MP3, so we needed to get the track right for it as well, and then the words then had to go over the track in the right format. But we worked on that today, and it was just gold. But every time we were like, can we move this bit here and move this bit here and do this, and we're like, and it just sounds great. It's quite, it just motivates you.
It's quite peppy.
That's peppy. Yes, pep talk.
Pep talk. Yeah. So today we're going to give you some little golden nuggets regarding motivation, because we do get this asked a lot. It's like, how do you guys stay so motivated? And we're like, okay. At first we used to think it was quite a strange question, because we're like, well, it's just what we do. It's who we are. But then there's a lot of other people as well that we think, well, they also are motivated. And when you break it down, there are some things that you can do to certainly help your motivation, and we're going to cover some of those little golden nuggets of information today.
So first and foremost, it's really important to understand what you want to be motivated for. Now that might sound like a silly question to ask, but more often than not, you're like, oh, how do you stay so motivated? You're like, well, because I know who I am. I'll come on to a little bit more of that in a second as well. I know who I am, but more so, I know what kind of life I want to live. I know what kind of results I'm looking for when it comes to my fitness, to my health and well-being, to my relationships, to everything into my finances. I know what kind of results I'm looking for. Now, sometimes it becomes vague and you then lose your motivation and you're like, oh, I've lost my motivation. It's because you don't have a clear image in your head of what you actually want to be motivated for. When you have a clear image in your head, you're like, right, that's the thing right there. If I held up a gold bar right now and said, do you want this? Are you motivated to get this? You'd be like, you can see it, you can picture it, you can almost smell it. You're like, I want that gold bar. Okay, here's what you need to do. Here's what you need to do to get this. And then a step-by-step plan of action. You're going to be motivated to get it because you know exactly what it is that you're aiming for, and you've been given the steps in order to get it. And that really is it in a nutshell. Okay, you can actually all switch off now. So that's done. So know what you want and know the steps that are required to get there, and then finally just ask yourself, like, how much do I want this thing?
Now, where sometimes people go wrong is they map something out. They want to, they want to run a marathon, right? I want to run, right? And they map out all the mileage, all the training, but they forget the common denominator, and everything they've ever applied themselves to is themselves. Okay, they're the common. So first and foremost, you look back at other times in your life when you were motivated. Were you motivated for a job once upon a time? Were you motivated for a school or a course, or maybe one of your family members, or children, you had to take them to a sports club or whatever, and you were motivated enough to take them to set time, set day, all this kind of stuff. And the common denominator on all those little stories is you. So you've got to analyse yourself and the habits that you were doing that generated that in the first place. Now, what Stephen touched on is when he talked about with the goal, yes, you might have a tangible goal like, I want to be able to run a marathon, but there's a lot of lifestyle changes that comes into that. Like, who are you going to be? What version of you runs that marathon? What's your hair like, your clothes, your lifestyle? What time do you go to bed? What time do you get up in the morning? How many times do you brush your teeth a day? All these things factor into who you are, or the version of you that's going to complete that marathon. Now that version of you, the successful version of you, if you can focus in on those traits, you can actually use that motivation for absolutely anything in your life. And your first stop is like, right, if you don't know where to begin, when was the last time you felt motivated for something? You think, oh well, maybe pre-pandemic, right? I was motivated for X, Y, Z. Okay, right, and the world changed and everything got tough. We appreciate that. Start to think about the kinds of things you were doing then when you were motivated. Again, time were you getting up? What was your daily habits like? How active? And when I say active, how many tasks did you get done in a day? And I don't just mean workout or food tasks. Did you wash dishes, clean clothes, empty bins? Did you do other jobs, do the gardening, wash your car, whatever? All these little jobs shows your activity. How active were you? Because the more active you are, the more positive a mindset, the more motivated you are. So take those ingredients and think, right, how can I replicate those?
The truth of the matter is, we're all motivated, and we're all motivated by happiness. We all want to be happy, right? Health and happiness. So, and we're all motivated towards that. And even if you don't think you are, believe me, you absolutely are. When it comes to, your exercise, for example, you might think, I'm not motivated to exercise. Yeah, because you're more motivated for your current happiness. Okay, happiness in the moment right now. Like, could go exercise, but actually I'm feeling lethargic, and actually it feels like it's going to bring more unhappiness by going to exercise, because you're like, I have to go and get sweaty, I have to go and get physically challenged, these thoughts in your head will, unless they're addressed, okay, so this is bringing a little bit of mindfulness into your practice, but unless they're addressed, these underlying subconscious feelings of, I know that exercise is going to be challenging, it's going to be uncomfortable, therefore, for my current happiness, I'm going to stay on the sofa. I'm just going to do this, I'm going to go home, I'm going to open a bottle of wine, or I'm going to have a little bit of chocolate, because that's going to make me happy. It's going to bring me a little bit of joy in what is actually a down day, or a down week, or a down month, or a down lifestyle at the moment you might have. You're always motivated for happiness. So what you need to do is start to bring some mindfulness practices into this to say, right, am I motivated for my happiness in the moment right now? Am I making up for something that is not going quite right for me at the moment? Okay, whether it be, COVID, you might have lost a job, lost a business, you might have lost a loved one. You might be going through some stressful times right now. There's lots of things that can bring you down, and you're always motivated for happiness. You're like, okay, I'll actually want to do a little bit more. Sometimes that happiness seems like it's in a bottle of wine. Or for us, sometimes it's a bottle of whiskey. So you've always got that. But if you can be mindful of it, well, actually, that's short-term happiness and what is actually as underlying unhappiness. What would it take, because we're all motivated for happiness, and just bring this question in, what would it take to have this underlying happiness and these little periods of unhappiness, okay, or little periods of discomfort, should I say? Little periods of discomfort that results in this underlying overall happiness. That means a little training session. It means choosing the stir-fry vegetables with prawns over the big bowl of pasta, and it's all these little periods of slight discomfort which will then lead to this overall happiness, which will then lead to you seeking out these periods of discomfort to then maintain this momentum going forward.
Now, it's important when you analyse the things that you're doing currently that are making you happy or perceived happiness, is to try and understand why that's happening. So, more often than not, when I reach for things in the cupboard, I'm looking for comfort, right? I've maybe got a bored afternoon or whatever's going on in the world, and I just feel like, I want a bit of comfort. And comfort might be in a pack of Oreo biscuits, or it might be in ordering a takeaway, or a bottle of wine, or a bottle of whiskey, or whatever. Because sometimes you're seeking comfort in food or inactivity by staying warm, staying on the sofa, watching a movie, because you're trying to escape pain elsewhere. And that pain elsewhere might be things that are troubling you, family issues, work issues, financial issues, any of the issues that Stephen touched on. If they're bothering you, you then seek comfort elsewhere to take your mind off it, to make you feel better. So more often than not, if you've been feeling demotivated, you want to just sit down and say, right, what have I been doing? Where have I been seeking comfort? And then try and analyse, well, why have I been seeking comfort? What is it about? And the reason you want to analyse why you've been seeking comfort is not to beat yourself up, right? Because a lot of the time we seek comfort, but we blame ourselves like, I can't stop eating biscuits. But then when you sit down, you think, actually, I'm eating biscuits because I'm really worried about my work situation, maybe getting made redundant, and I'm seeking comfort in the biscuits. So now that doesn't sort of relinquish any responsibility, but it does make you think, okay, let's put things in perspective. You're worried about this, let's package that away and spend time processing that and unpacking that at a different time. But the biscuits aren't helping you long term, because that comfort in the short term is creating another problem, which you're then going to be worried about your weight, your health. You're going to be self-sabotaging mentally that you don't feel motivated. So one of the not easiest, because it's not easy, but one of the straightforward ways is to look at the things that you're seeking comfort in and then ask yourself, is that creating another problem? And if it's creating another problem, you've got to stop that right away and think to yourself, future you will thank you for it if you stop creating other problems now.
Yeah, a little bit of time travel, guys. Be kind to your future self. Think about what actions can I take today that my future self will thank me for. And think back right now about the actions you took yesterday or even this morning, depending on where you are in the world. I think about my morning this morning, and we got the dogs out for a walk. We cracked on. We finished up our pep talk.
Yeah, we finished that epic pep talk.
We worked hard at it. I had a training session this morning with my wife in the garage. It was just been a really productive, sound day. The kids are already at school. Everything's looking great. And all the actions that I took, I know by when I sleep in bed tonight, the future me, I'm going to look back on today and go, pretty good day. Well done, Stephen. Or you might start thinking about actions that you're taking, or you feel like you're reacting to, that's going to make the future you go, fuck's sake, we need to get a grip of ourselves. We need to take action. We need to get motivated. Okay, that starts now. Forgive yourself for any wrongdoing you've done to yourself. Today, yesterday, last week, last month, last year. Forgive yourself now, because you took the actions based on your current self when you took them. Now you're a new person. You say, right, what actions am I taking today that my future me tomorrow is going to be really proud of? And sometimes that can be enough just to go, right, actually, I don't want the bottle of wine. I want to get hydrated and get an early night so that I wake up tomorrow morning and I'm feeling good. Everybody falls into that trap of, when you feel a little bit down, you're like, oh, I need to get some happiness somehow before I go to bed. And you stay up late night watching some sort of movie or YouTube, or you'll have a bottle of wine and you're like, I need some food, I need some happiness before I go to my bed. And then you go to bed, you can't sleep properly, you have a crappy night's sleep, you wake up in the morning, and the whole cycle starts again. Okay, so the best thing sometimes you can do is actually, do you know what, call it quits for today, get to bed, a good night's sleep, get up, and then crack on with the next day.
So what Stephen was reflecting on there is he said, put anything you've been weighing on your mind, that monkey on your back that's been like, oh, you've been skipping on your diet and shame on you, put it to bed. And then put your big boy or girl pants on and just say, from now on, I'm going to be taking control of my health and wellness. Now, a really strong tip is to make something a non-negotiable. Now, sometimes in life, you might feel you're demotivated for your health and wellness in terms of diet and exercise, right? You might say, I'm just not exercising at the moment, I'm just not eating well. But there's a bunch of stuff you are motivated for. I bet you're still getting up early, getting the children ready for school, you're still going to your work all day if you do that, or doing all the tasks, right, that are non-negotiable. You're getting the things done, but the things like your training and your diet, for whatever reason, you're not making it a non-negotiable, and guess what? You're then putting it to the sideline. It's not that important. Make it a non-negotiable. The minute you say, I have to get my workout done, I have to eat fairly well today, make it a non-negotiable and get it done.
We touched on this the other day, and we were talking about being able to get up in the morning, and I reflected on, a particular client of mine who said, people think they can't get up in the morning until they're going on holiday and they've got a flight to catch at 3, 4, 5 in the morning, 7 in the morning. Suddenly they're setting an alarm for in the middle of the night, and they're like, the alarm goes off and they're out of bed and they're getting packed up ready to go because they're motivated. It's something that they really want. And that's when it comes to the non-negotiables. That is a non-negotiable. If you don't get up, that flight's not waiting for you. That flight's leaving without you. Have that same mindset when it comes to your training. Like, if I don't get up and train, that today's not waiting around for me. Time is going to pass whether you train or not. This month is going to pass. This year is going to pass. Whether you train or not, whether you look after yourself or not, this year is going to pass. So make it like that flight that you're catching for your holiday. Say, no, time is passing. Like, I'm going to train because I value my health and I honour my body. I'm going to train, I'm going to eat good food because the time is going to pass regardless.
Non-negotiable.
Think about who you are as a person. What's your identity? Do you identify with being overweight, lethargic, out of shape, feeling sorry for yourself? Maybe you've got depression, maybe you experience a little bit of anxiety, maybe you're overwhelmed, maybe you've got some trauma from the past, maybe all this stuff, and maybe that's become your identity. We're here to say, fuck that. Don't let that become your identity. If that's what you're telling yourself, well, that's my past, and I'm always going to suffer. Well, do you know what? You're right. You're going to suffer for the rest of your life if you believe that's what's going to happen. Or you can believe that you're destined for something better. You can believe that past that maybe wasn't ideal, maybe you wouldn't choose it for your loved ones, but you experienced it regardless. Maybe that's setting you up for an amazing life. Maybe that's the catalyst that you need. All it takes is for you to then flip that switch to say, actually, that phase of my life is over. Now it's time to move on. So again, putting yourself in your future shoes and look back and say, at what point am I turning my life around? At what point am I taking action? At what point am I taking charge of what's going on in my life? And that might be watching a little Facebook or a YouTube video like with us right now. I might be saying, do you know what, a motivation masterclass, 4 days to change my life? Fuck yeah. It's 27 quid. Get booked on, get registered. There is only 100 spaces because we can't work with a bunch of people. We do live coaching sessions like this to our members, so we can't have more than 100 non-members at this stage. So get yourself registered and let your actions today please you tomorrow.
Now remember, if you're feeling demotivated, what that says to us is there's a small part of you that wants to be motivated for whatever that is, right? Because if you didn't want it, you wouldn't feel any different. You'd just be going about your life. It's like some people that go about their life as active as they can and they think they're fit because they've never had a desire to do anything that's tested their fitness out with their fit for life, which is a walk to the shop, up and down steps, and they're fine. And then all of a sudden they try and do something that they then go, whoa, I'm not fit. They then feel they need to do some fitness. But then if they're not doing that fitness, based on how fit they now want to be, they feel demotivated. Whereas if they didn't have that desire to improve themselves, then they would never feel demotivated, they would just be. All right? So if you're feeling demotivated, that's a glimmer of hope, because that shows there's a part of you that wants it. And if you want it, you've got to get that part of you to go and get it.
It's like saying, Kurt, right now, I'm not motivated to smoke. I'm like, not motivated. Is that an issue? Well, no, because I don't want to smoke.
I don't even think about it.
No, we just don't think about it. So you're always motivated for different areas of your life. I'm motivated, I use this example all the time. I'm motivated to clean my teeth every morning and every night.
I love cleaning my teeth.
I actually don't like it.
Well, you know, I love it because it makes your mouth feel fresh.
Oh, I love the after effect, but I'm like, oh, I've got to clean my teeth. I still do it twice a day. I'm kind of like, yeah, I'll just clean my teeth because it's important to me because I want nice teeth. I want to have good, healthy gums and teeth. Right? So I'm motivated for it, even though it's kind of like, it's just a boring thing.
I didn't believe you when you said it. I was like, he doesn't like it, but he's motivated to do it.
Point is, you're all motivated for certain things and we're all unmotivated for other things. If you're currently thinking, I need to get motivated for this particular thing, whether it's your weight loss, your health, your well-being, your strength of character, then it means something to you. That is one of your values. It's how you want to be identified. It's how you identify yourself, but your lifestyle, your habits, your daily actions haven't quite caught up, and you're looking for that motivation to do it. That's what this motivation masterclass is all about. It's getting you engaged. It's getting your mind and your heart, your soul in alignment with who you really are. Think about that sort of heartfelt feelings of your identity, who you really are. If you want a motivation, then it's about lining your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your actions, the company that you keep. It's all part of what we were talking about. The people around you are really, really important.
Get motivated for the Motivation Masterclass.
Get signed up. thekiltedcoaches.com, and then you'll see the button right there. Click on it, get yourself registered. You get the pre-sale list. You're still not committing to anything, but get yourself on that list because there's only 100 spaces available.
And just an FYI, on the pre-sale list, there's already over 100 people on that list. Therefore, once you're on that list and you get the announcement, you got to get in quick. First come, first serve.
Yeah, as soon as we will be putting out the email out 24 hours before we shout about it on social media, which will be happening soon, I think, because it's 2 weeks today that it starts. Okay, it starts on the 23rd.
That's coming around quick, eh?
Yeah, that's coming around quick. Okay, so get on there. We're going to go to questions right now. Answer any questions you might have, and I hope that you're all looking forward to getting that pep talk. So here's the thing: the pep talk, it's not stored on our app because we've got like guided meditations that are on our app for our members. So if you're one of our members, you get the guided meditation, you get the guided relaxation technique. There's more stuff coming this year. There's going to be a bunch of stuff being added. But this pep talk, you don't just get this pep talk for the 4 days that you're on the Motivation Masterclass. It literally is a link to download it onto your phone and you keep it forever. The tuition fee, what was I trying to say? The sign up fee. That's a tuition fee. Let's call it a tuition fee. The tuition fee of 27 quid is worth it alone just for the pep talk. It is pretty good and it will stay with you forever. Whenever you feel like you need a pick me up, then you can listen to that.
It's rather epic.
It is rather epic.
Right, we'll go to the commentos. We've got Susan, you're my motivation superheroes. I think you meant
Superheroes?
Oh, sorry, I didn't scroll to the top. So Susan's on. Pep talk sounds great. Bunch of people. Ants, evening guys. You guys are so hot. Love from Chile guys. Andrea gives some thumbs up. Gunshot in the heart. Ken, hey guys. Aloha from Hawaii. Oh, you've got your comment. Sorry, but I was just going with it. I didn't realise.
Mitchell, Bert, me. John Javier, also variations of hello, hello, hello. Alex says, when does it start? I'm in on the midst of working OT, occupational therapy, overtime.
Or overtime.
So can't right now. Alex, the motivation masterclass starts on the 23rd of this month. So 2 weeks today.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Susan gave us a donation. Gunshot for Susan.
Alan, great to see Wolf Striker Leather is having if your kilts. I have no idea what that means, Alan. Great to see Wolf Striker Leather is having in your kilts. Okie dokie.
There we go. Michael's on. Hi guys. Greats from Germany. Hi Michael.
Stephen, Anne, another Anne, Keith all say hello. Heather, what stops falling back with tiredness? Binging, please. What stops falling back with tiredness? Binging, please. Heather, I have no idea what that means either.
Maybe because maybe she's used an like a translator to do it, or
I'm not sure.
What stops you falling back with tiredness? Praying, please.
Heather, ask the question again. I'm not too sure what you mean by that.
Linda says, hello Stephen and Rav from Northern Ireland. As you know, I can't exercise my upper body due to my injured shoulder and wrist, but I seem to be reaching for the biscuit tin, chocolate. Any tips, please? First go to it is you could get rid of the stuff in the house. It makes it a little bit more challenging to be reaching for things if they're simply not there.
Can't reach for a biscuit tin if you don't have a biscuit tin.
Mm-hmm. But saying that, I was speaking to someone recently who kept their snacks but put them in a place where they could walk past them, and every time they resisted them, it actually bolstered their kind of resilience to it. They're like, yep, I can see that biscuit tin, but I'm not going to reach for it. So those are two ways to do it. If you're still going, every time you see it, you're reaching for it, get rid of them.
It depends on your personality, because sometimes every time you walk past it, you might go, oh, not today, not tonight, no. But sooner or later you might go so tired and so lethargic that you're like, you know what, I just need that wee biscuit. So ask yourself those questions. Kelly says, hey there, thank for your wonderful wisdom. You're very welcome, Kelly.
Christy's on. Hello, finally catch another live. Hello, Christy.
Hello. Gary says, yes, I know I've been depressed. I need motivation. So Gary, you are motivated. You just need to direct it for your long-term happiness rather than short-term happiness.
Ken says, always great to see you guys. I appreciate all that you do. Thank you.
Teresa, I struggle with motivation every day, hiking the Appalachian Trail, so I pack and then eat to have to convince myself to hike. I can stop if I need to. Teresa, it doesn't sound like you're lacking motivation at all. Hiking Appalachian Trail, sounds awesome.
Rockshot's on saying, hello mateys, great way to see it, Raps. That must have been the non-negotiables maybe, but
I'm not sure.
One of the things I waffled on about.
Piyush says, Rab, please send me your number.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or is it 8, 9, or wait, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10.
That's it. Well done. Michael says, thank you. Joey Gallon's on. Hugs to you both.
Joey.
Joey, I hope that your health is improved since your little kind of blip. Pat says, non-negotiable. I need to get into that mindset. Thanks, gents.
Linda says, okay, after listening to your chat, I could really get off my ass and do something other than worrying about what I can't do. Thank you.
This one. Cleaner hoovering. I don't know if you can hear that.
We hope it's the cleaner. It could be absolutely anybody.
Texas Chainsaw Mask.
Leatherface is like, yeah, they're lulling them into a false sense of security.
Although it's a bit lower level than a chainsaw. Maybe it's one of those bread cutters.
Oh, Christ, you thought about that, eh?
Billy, I found out after many years of a secure lifestyle that there is a difference between being alone and being lonely. I am by myself. I feel like I fell down a hole. I am my worst enemy. I know this, but I just can't seem to find a desire to pull myself out of this rut. Some days are okay, then sometimes things get hopeless. I know that I am not alone in these feelings. So Billy, the best advice that we can give you right now is start small and build up momentum. So sometimes just one little action that then makes you feel good. It could be going for a nice walk. It can be just getting out, having a conversation with somebody. It can be doing some squats in your front room. Whatever it is, do something small and then just allow that feeling of happiness to come. A lot of people actually push that feeling away, saying, "Oh, I'm sad or I'm lonely or I'm not deserving of this, and you naturally just push it away and you believe that you're destined for unhappiness when that becomes your identity. So do something small and accept that feeling of happiness and joy and motivation to come in and go, actually, I do feel that little bit better, okay? And then suddenly you find the momentum starting to build and you want to do something else.
Kelly says, Kelly from the Commonwealth of Kentucky, great conversation topic. Thank you for the positive encouragement. You're very welcome, Kelly.
Meg says, surely depression is one cause for not being motivated. This would need to be addressed prior to trying to motivate yourself. Thoughts on this? So Meg, yeah, absolutely. Depression, I wouldn't say it's a cause for not being motivated. It's being depressed. Obviously, there's many different forms of depression, but generally speaking, I think it was Jim Carrey said it really well. Is like being depressed means that you're in deep rest. You've just experienced so much that your soul, your heart is just trying to rest to recuperate. And in order to get yourself out of that is about dealing with the past and expressing what happened to you. Now again, there's many different forms, many different stories out there. But yes, absolutely, starting to process depression. But it can start with you looking at, okay, what am I motivated towards? Again, if that's that question for you, a lot of people who are depressed just don't think about motivation because it's not on their radar. If it's on your radar, it means that at least you can see out of the depression. It means that you want to be motivated for something else, which is a fantastic first sign. So if you're already thinking, if you've got this depression and I need to be motivated, well, great. Now you've got a greater vision of where your depression is trying to take you. So then take one step forward. Sometimes you can't see the full path, but you can see the first step. Just take that first step, realize that there's more steps in front of you, and then just keep moving. But with depression, I wouldn't be doing my job properly as a coach if I wasn't say, go and speak to somebody. Okay, it's really important that you address the depression. There is ways of dealing with it, and actually you can move out of depression. You can disassociate yourself with depression rather than saying, I'm depressed or I've got depression. You say, no, I experience elements of depression from time to time. And you start to de-associate yourself with that. It's not who you are, it's something that you've experienced from time to time.
It's always good to talk. One of the key things as well with depression is that people that are experiencing a form of depression for months, weeks, year, whatever it be, is sometimes they then forget that it's even possible to come back up. It's quite good to visualize a button when life has got you down, it's depressed, the button's come down, but it should spring back up. Now there's no set time period for that, but it starts with believing that it is possible. So it's like, right, however long this takes, I will get back to the way I was. Once you've spoken to people, worked it through with professionals, but definitely have that belief that you can get back there, and that will do wonders for you.
Start paying attention to the light, okay, the energy, where your energy is being directed, what sort of speaks to your heart, because depression can put you in this dark hole, but there will be elements of light around you, and it might be people, it might be experiences, it might be meditation, yoga. Something will speak to your heart, and even if it's just a little glimpse, do more of that. Start to open yourself up, and I'm going to emphasize this again, speak to someone. There's therapists, psychotherapists, really good life coaches, you get shamanic practitioners, energy healers. Speak to somebody that speaks your language. Some people go, psychotherapist, and there's no chance in hell I'm speaking to a therapist, but then totally open to energy healers. Whereas other people go, energy healers? What the fucking load of nonsense. I want to go a psychotherapist, okay? So, and there's everything in between. Speak to somebody who speaks your language and get everything moving.
Rock Shot was meaning that when I said the fact you want to or feel that you need to be motivated means you're already motivated. When I said there's a glimmer of you that wants to be motivated, you're already, there's a part of you that wants to be. That's what I was saying.
Stephanie, I don't know if you meant it this way, but I'm going to say it this way anyway. You can motivate me if you like. The kids are getting on my titins today.
Oh, my titins. I have to say it that way.
Stephanie, I hope that you're a little bit motivated after today's talk.
Susan says, for me, the knowledge that the sweeties are there if I need them helps me. I asked, do I really need this today? The answer is no, not today.
Not today.
Buzz Lightyear it.
Tracy Goldie says, I want to be motivated, but I'm not. You described me well. I need it for my mind, my health, and my weight. I don't feel like me anymore. So, Tracy, that's you're almost starting to coach yourself there when you say, I don't feel like me anymore. Great. Then what does you feel like? Because a lot of people, I don't feel like me anymore, but they can't really answer that question. Well, I feel like this, but right now I'm feeling like this. Look to see what this thing is. What does you feel like? What do you feel like when you're being you? And then be more of that. Be more you.
Be more you. Linda says, guys, thank you both for freeing up some of your time to once again talk to all of us. I hope you're having a great evening.
Yes. Our Buffy is on. Looking forward to getting stuck in again. Sounds like what I need. Yes, Buffy, Motivation Masterclass. I think you're one of our members anyway.
So it'll be free for you, Buffy. So you don't have to worry.
You will get an email. All members will get an email when this is ready to go. And you can, in fact, you can request it right now. Go to the app, and it'll be under guides, and put in a support request. Just click on Motivation Masterclass, and it'll be put onto your app and your account when it's ready.
Heather says, my karate sensei used to say we have 3 things to be responsible in the dojo: care for our juniors, care for ourselves, and care for our seniors. What you're saying translates that easily to care, healing for my past self. I don't know if this one wrapped into that. Care for my present self and care for my future self. Well, yeah, those do tie together. That's quite nice, actually. So I'll read that again. Karate sensei had 3 things to worry about: care for juniors, care for ourselves, and care for our seniors. And this translates to easily to care, healing for my past self, care for my present self, and care for my future self.
Yeah. Nice, love it. John says, hello from NC. Where's NC? North Carolina?
North Carolina.
I'm starting my weight loss journey on Monday. Thanks for the inspiration, guys. John, that sounds awesome. But my question is, why Monday? Why not today? Why not right now? It's very common for you to think, I start on Monday, I'll start in January, I'll start at the start of the week, or this new period in my life, when I move house, you name it, it's always in the future. If you want to lose weight, start now. There might be an official program that you're starting of some kind on Monday. That doesn't mean you shouldn't be thinking about it right now and actually applying the principles that you already know.
Chaka Chaka says, can you guys do this interview without your shirts? Woof! We could, but it'd be rather cold and uncomfortable.
Yeah. Michael Phelps.
He's a swimmer. Does he not used to win gold medals all the time?
Yeah, he's like the most decorated Olympian, isn't he? Michael Phelps.
Well, happy days.
There we go. He says thank you both. You're welcome, Michael.
You're welcome.
If we contribute to another gold medal, then you put us in your acceptance speech. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Donna, I've managed to lose 30 pounds, just need to get in better shape. I'm 68 years old. Well done, Donna. That's awesome.
In fact, you're getting a gunshot.
Diane Gibson, love the chat. Even as a group fitness instructor, still need help to be motivated. Diane, that's very, very common amongst fitness instructors and even personal trainers, coaches of any kind. We're all human beings at the end of the day. Just because you've got a job title doesn't mean that you've got it all figured out. It just means that you know more than most, or at least you're trained in that field.
I always had the rule of thumb, whenever I went on a course or worked beside anyone, there was something to learn from everybody you interacted with. And sometimes it was silly. Sometimes you come across a trainer that you thought, they are a donut, but they'd have a particular way of explaining something to someone. You think, oh, that's different. There was always something to learn. So and what that also translates to is, I don't know everything. So, when you're listening to other coaches, even if you're a coach yourself, another coach might just explain it in a way that really hit home. You think, that's an easier way to explain that, or that touches me more than my previous person that told me that particular bit of information did.
The coach touches you?
Like, my coach sometimes touches me. And that's all I want to say about that.
You always say a rule of thumb. Do you know where that comes from?
I don't know.
So, as it's International Women's Day today, isn't it?
Yesterday, wasn't it?
Is it yesterday? I don't know. So, I don't know how to put truth in this, but this is what I got told when I was in the army. That rule of thumb is a common phrase in the military,
okay.
Or at least it was where I was. And I think, who ever thought the rule of thumb? Like, why is that? And apparently, it was because a man is allowed to beat up his mistress or his wife,
right,
with a rolled up magazine or newspaper, as long as it's no thicker than your thumb. So as long as it's not thicker. So rule of thumb, generally speaking, I'm like, Really? And everybody just uses that phrase like today? Like, I don't know how much truth is in that.
Oh my goodness.
If somebody can correct me on that, I would love to hear it. But yeah,
Oh wow.
just when you say rule, I'm like, yeah, maybe we should stop using that now.
Interestingly enough, so yesterday, I'm sure yesterday was International Women's Day, and my girls were watching Snow White. And I tell you what, my eldest daughter, she just said it right. She's like, yeah, Daddy, is it the witch or the queen or whatever in Snow White? Yeah, Daddy, she's not very nice. She's been mean to Snow White just because she's jealous of her. And I was like, and that was on International Women's Day. I was like, man, that movie sums up some, or if not a lot of the negative interactions. Because some of the posts that go out there is all about women should build each other up rather than break down, because statistically speaking, I think women in groups can be negative to one another. And the movie Snow White is like, who's the fairest on them all? Well, it's not you anymore, it's that chick. That's it. I'm going to get her. I'm going to bring her down. You're like, wow.
Yeah,
It was just funny that my daughter, being 7 years old, came out with that. I was like,
the
oh,
wicked witch. Rule of thumb? Damn right.
or I'll set my 7 dwarfs on.
Flossie, I'm doing a sponsored step for charity, which is really motivating. Also, instead of meeting friends for coffee, we meet and go for a walk instead. A different friend every walk means you don't wear them out. Happy days, Flossie. Sounds like you got all figured out.
Chaka says, I love you guys. Thanks for reading my comment, lol. Kilted coach fan for life. I want a kilt signed by both of you. What you're better doing, because a kilt will eventually get worn off, get yourself one of our books and we'll sign that for you, Chaka.
Yep. You actually, so the book's on our shelves at the moment. Signed ones and unsigned ones, and we can buy them both on our website.
Susan says, apparently the rule of thumb comes from medieval times. It was a rod or stick as big around as a man's thumb, as big around.
Yeah.
It was a rod or a stick. Oh, well.
But for what? Is it for beating up women?
You need to elaborate on that one, Susan.
Really like your page, very motivational. Hello, all the way from Krugersdorp, South Africa, says Marty. Oh, very good. And Tracy says I can relate to Billy. Kitty is on. I just want to say you guys are awesome. I value my year in the clan, missing the banter and workouts with you both. I've applied a lot of what I've learned from you guys. Signed up for your motivation intensive. Kitty, it'd be nice to see you there again.
We miss you, Kitty. We hope you're keeping well.
Ellie Eason, I'm feeling quite motivated. You posts lives help as well as improving my food types and exercise every day. All this is helping and spending a lot of time outdoors. Elliot, sounds awesome. We seem to be motivating people, guy.
It's interesting that one, eh?
Tracy, this is very true. I can last ages.
Can you now? This is very true. Or that is very true.
That is very true. Tracy said I can last for ages. Ooh. But when I bounce back, it's like I'm on a high and then do too much and then drop like a brick. So Tracy, it sounds to me like you need a bit of happy medium. This is very common. People go, oh, I've got all the motivation in the world, and they go hell for leather, and they just go for it, and because they're really driven, like, oh, I'm going to do this. But then that doesn't last because the adrenaline just plummets. That motivation can just start to, and as soon as the motivation comes down a little bit, you're on this downward trajectory, and it's like, oh, and something could be demotivating. Even though you're still motivated, it's not as motivated as where you were. So then the trajectory looks like this, which then and it can start to plummet. So the better thing to do is actually just to start to understand the internal workings of your heart, your soul, your mind, and start to build things up. That's what the Motivation Masterclass is all about. This is not about us going, come on, you can do it, this is awesome, you're amazing. This is not about that. This is actually about understanding your values as a human being, as you as an individual, and start to work with that. So you've got lifelong motivation rather than short-lived nonsense that people seem to promote these days.
Susan says, yes, it was for beating women. It could be no bigger than the thumb.
There we go. So I'm not speaking nonsense.
Just maybe the timings was wrong with it. Oh, mind you, maybe it was an old thing in medieval times, and then they transferred the rule into rolled up. Did you say newspaper or magazines?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe it was a rod. It was something anyway for beating a woman, and it couldn't be bigger than the
thing is, like, I would use that phrase all the time. I had no clue where it came. I'd be like, yeah, rule of thumb.
Rule of thumb, yeah.
Rule of fucking thumb. Jesus. I'm going to try really hard not to use that anymore, given that I've got daughters.
Meg says, good answer, guys. What you said is very valid and will resonate with others on your live chat. Not too sure what we said 6 minutes ago, but Meg agrees.
Rockshot said, when starting out, I do less than I possibly can. That way I don't dread the next time. Yeah, well, there's method to that, I guess, Rockshot. But you also got to remember that when you push yourself as much as you can on that day and work hard, you'll then get progression. So you'll actually be fitter, stronger, faster, and you'll recover. So when you come to do it again, you will be fitter and you'll be...
Exactly. Andrea's on. Hello, Andrea. Be the best, more you can be.
You know this, everybody when they jump off this live session should just go and Google the Karate Kid song, "You're the best around, nothing's ever gonna beat you down." Or keep you down, yeah, that's right. Oh, man, that's
Tracy says, where can I sign up? I missed it. Tracy, just go to thekiltedcoaches.com and you'll see all the links there. And she also says, I wish, I think that's when I said you could last a long time. Alex, that's true about the rule of thumb. Cool, I'm not making it up then. Awodale. I am Ola Lekin, a spellcaster. I do all types of spell below. Twin flame and soulmate readings. Bring back X back spells. Love spells. Commitment love spells. Obsession love spells. Protection spells. I know this is like proper spam, but I'm going to read it out anyway. Because you know I'm absolutely ripping into you right now. Cleansing spells. Pregnancy spells. You can be impregnated by the divine. Court case and lotto spell and so on. Letting me your problem so I can give you a permanent solution to it. Even if you want to get pregnant, I'll give you a permanent solution. It will not last 9 months, it'll last forever.
Oh, right, Christ.
So thank you, Awodale, or I'm Ola. I can't say your name. Kat says, hello. Beth says, rule of thumb was generally just a unit of measurement first and therefore used for any measurement, especially for sales. Huh. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
It's the measurement, right? We use it right now, rule of thumb for fats.
Yeah,
right?
Rule of thumb, yeah.
Clan members will know what we're talking about.
And I know that, yeah, because if you're doing measurements, thumb, if you were having whiskey, double whiskey, whatever, yeah. I don't feel quite so bad then.
Sarah Slade, hi coaches and clan, you two have increased my motivation by the way you deliver the lessons and information. Sarah.
So you got a gunshot, Sarah.
Leslie is originally used as an approximate measure since the 1600s. There you go. Anne says, not about beating a wife, rule of thumb was about measuring, thumb is approximately an inch. So basically, we're not right and we're not wrong.
It's still a measurement.
It's still a measurement. It's like, oh, I'm allowed to beat my wife. How big is this metal pole allowed to be? Rule of thumb. Still a unit of measurement, isn't it? Rule of thumb was at least as far back as ancient Egypt, so well before 1600s then. Lady of mid-50s here, I am struggling with losing weight after rotator cuff surgery and 5 leg procedures for varicose vein removal. Any advice? Yes, Teresa, focus on what you can do. A rotator cuff injury, as much as it sucks and it can be painful, it doesn't stop you losing weight. It just doesn't. We've got a bunch of clan members who have had issues in the past with rotator cuffs. There's always more you can do that doesn't affect your legs. I know you've had leg procedures for varicose veins. Again, that doesn't stop you losing weight. There's always something that you can do. So, but without knowing you and what your current lifestyle is like, I can guarantee you already know at least 5 things that you could be doing and you're not. And it's because you think you've got a rotator cuff injury and you've had these procedures on your legs and you're like, oh, I need some advice. So I'm going to turn this right back on you and I would say trust yourself. Trust the power that's within you right now. Those 5 things that you already know you should be doing but you're not will have a huge effect. So just imagine that we're telling you right now, see those 5 things you're thinking about? Get them done. Do them on a consistent basis and I can promise you, you will feel better in a couple of weeks, if not before that.
We used to do a task called 5 for 5 and it was change 5 things to drop £5. So there was no time limit on that. So basically you would change 5 of the big things that you know, whether it's eat more vegetables, get out walking more, whatever. You'll know 5 things, as Steve was saying, and you repeat those 5 things until you drop £5 and then you celebrate your 5 for 5.
So that was actually a really good task we did, wasn't it? It was quite nice, and we said, you know, however long it takes, just pop back and let us know that you've dropped your £5 by changing your 5 things. And more often than not, people do it really, really quickly, like a week, 2 weeks sometimes.
And it was nice the ones that did it in 3 or 4 because they kind of did a consistent change. Like they just chipped away and they kept at it, and then they got there, and it really empowered them to go on and do more. So 5 for 5.
5 for 5. Michael says, thank you, inspire me. At 57, it's needed. Glad to be of service, Michael.
Sharna, the legendary, says, oops, a little bit late. Hey, cup cheese.
Hi, Sharna.
Better late than never.
And Sean Adams says, hey guys.
Gunshot for Sean. Was it Ken Adams was in Friends?
Yeah,
Joey's fake name.
Regina Phalange. Hey, Ken Adams.
Yeah, but it's when they work out and they're like, my friend dated someone called Ken. And he's like,
Yeah.
Ken Adams.
Yeah, it was the Mount Tibidabo story. Yeah, I was hiking in the foothills of Mount Tibidabo, and I seen this girl and she was crying. Really? And like, that's my story. Like, no, it's not your story. My friend heard it from some guy. Some guy. Like, no. His name was Ken Adams. He's like, Ken Adams. That's right.
We need to get ready for our coaching.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, coaching our members at 6 o'clock, so we better go. Thank you so much for joining us today.
So again, if you go to the website, thekiltedcoaches.com, you can register for the Motivation Masterclass. At the moment, you're not committed. You can just register 24 hours in advance. The pre-sale list will get the first dibs to get in. There's 100 spaces only. 4-day course. You also get the pep talk, which is blooming epic, by the way, as a permanent download. So you'll have that for the rest of your days.
Yes. Yeah. Get on there, thekiltedcoaches.com. You follow the links. You'll see it all right in front of you when you go to the homepage. Click on the links, get yourself registered, and then you will get an email 24 hours before we post about it on social media. And in fact, do you know what? We might not even post it on social media if all those 100 spaces go, which they might very well do. It might never appear on social media. It might do, depending on who buys it. And if you're quick, then you'll get it. Some people won't pick up their emails straight away, so there's still potential for us posting about it on social media. But don't rely on seeing it on social media. If you're at all interested in taking care of your health and well-being, then go and register now.
thekiltedcoaches.com, Motivation Masterclass.
Yes. Right, guys, we better go.
Have a good week.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you soon.